Welcome to the Data Scientist Podcast with Dr. Stylianos Kabakis. Dr. Kabakis is a data scientist, statistician, and blockchain expert with a mission to educate the public about the wonderful capabilities of technologies like AI, data science, and DLTs. These technologies have the potential to transform the world, the economy, and our lives. However, there is too much misinformation around tech, and so most people are just confused about what is true and what is not. Whether you are a CEO, an entrepreneur, or just an enthusiast, the Data Scientist Podcast helps you separate reality from hype.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Data Scientist Podcast. On today's episode, I want to talk about my new book. As some of you might know, I've already published 2 books, and the third one only came out a couple of months ago. So it is called Predicting the Unknown, the History and Future of Data Science and Artificial Intelligence. This is a book I've been writing for a long time, and it took me quite a while to also find a publisher, to the extent that I was seriously getting worried it may never get published. So if any of you are listening and you're thinking about writing your own book, I'd advise you to just try and get an agreement from a publisher first before you start writing a book and then try to publish it. But anyway, so this book is about the history and future of artificial intelligence and data science. So as you probably know, I've dedicated most of my career to the study of AI and data science. And a good chunk of my career has been about simplifying data science and AI in a way that anyone can understand it, okay? So this is some of the work that I've been doing with the Tesseract Academy as well. Things like workshops, and simplifying AI, simplifying data science, and really explaining to businesses and executives how they can best implement, how they can best harness the power of these technologies. So this book, which by the way, it's quite long, it's like around 270 pages, more than 80,000 words. It covers the history of AI and data science all the way from the ancient times till now, till what we call the modern times. So this book originally was called Uncertainty. My publisher wanted me to change the title to Predicting the Unknown because they said that, just an easier title to understand and, Amazon keywords and whatever. But you're probably going to notice a few things within the book, like in a few chapters and some of the titles, that the theme of uncertainty comes up again and again. The reason being that what I set out to do in this particular book, is to create a narrative around how some of the technologies that we're using now, like AI and data science, they are really technologies created in order to fight uncertainty. Okay, so uncertainty is part of the human condition, and uncertainty can exist in many different forms, from predicting the future to not having access to some information about something happening now in some part of the world, or even not having access to information about something that happened in the past. Okay, so all these are different forms of uncertainty. And disciplines like statistics, data science, AI, all they're doing essentially is harnessing uncertainty. Okay, harnessing uncertainty for different purposes, obviously. So a large language model that's used in order to generate text is different to a forecasting algorithm which is used to predict future values. So in this book, discussing about the history of uncertainty, and we start from the ancient times, we start from the times of ancient philosophers, and then we move on to the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, and then eventually the modern era. So we start by the era of philosophy, and we talk about things like inductive logic, before moving on to the theory of probability and statistics and how all these disciplines developed, and then eventually they evolved into what we now call data science, which has now given birth to artificial intelligence. So the book is not really written for a technical audience. So the book is written having in mind an audience that's largely non-technical. And this has been done on purpose, okay? So I want anyone to be able to understand what data science and what AI really is. And that's why I wrote this book. That was really the whole purpose. The book, however, is not necessarily an applied textbook. So it's not really meant for someone who maybe wants to implement these things in a business context. Nevertheless, you are going to learn some very important things which will hopefully help you understand how you can apply some of those technologies in your particular, challenges and the particular problems you're facing. And nevertheless, The point was to write a book for really pretty much for anyone who wants to understand the big picture. And I say the big picture because I believe that the history of the discipline, history in general actually, allows us to zoom out. And I believe we live in an era now where there's so many buzzwords and there's so much misinformation, where being able to identify what is true and what is false can be very, very important. It can be very important on many different contexts. One of the most important reasons why you want to be able to understand where the trends are going, where the direction the wind is blowing to, it's simply because there's so much misinformation, and these technologies that we now have in our possession are going to affect many, many different parts of our lives, which means that your job might change, okay? If you're an entrepreneur, your business model might change, and being able to understand the direction of the trend will help you predict some of those changes and exploit them, okay? However, if you just get stuck in the hype, you might not be able to really take advantage of them. You might actually even get sidetracked in the wrong direction. And this is something we're seeing now with large language models and AI. They have many amazing applications, but we also see many, many stupid ideas out there. We see lots of fear about people losing their jobs instead of really trying to understand how some of the existing jobs can become, let's say, superpowered through the power of AI and data science. So this is some of the things that I hope this book is going to help with. Okay, so towards the last few chapters, we also talk about blockchain, and we talk about the impact of AI and data science on the economy. And I believe that after going through all the chapters, by the time you're on chapter 15, called Economies of Prediction and New Industrial Revolution, you'll really be able to understand the wider historical context of AI and data science. You'll be able to really make up your own mind and your own judgment about what's the direction of the current trends. So if anyone wants a copy of this book, you can get it on Amazon, but at the same time, I would be more than happy to share the PDF with you. Make sure to go to thedatascientist.com, just shoot me a message from there, from the contact form, or please visit the website of the Tesseract Academy, and again, feel free to shoot me a message from there, and I'll be more than happy to share the PDF with you. But then again, if you want to buy the paperback and then even leave a review on Amazon, I'll really appreciate it. So I have spent years working on this book, and this is really the culmination of all those years of research and writing. And I'm really happy to be sharing this book with you. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon at some other podcast or one of the events we're organizing with the Tesseract Academy. And make sure to go to thedatascientist.com for more content on AI, data science, and blockchain. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to visit thedatascientist.com for more content about data science, AI, and blockchain.